If a customer wants a pickle, you give them a pickle, right?
Calvin Cocoa Puff.
Hell yeah.
If a customer wants a pickle, you give them a pickle, right?
If you want a pickle, you gotta give him a pickle, right?
You guys still there?
Baloney Nation.
It's got to be the best intro to any show.
I don't think there's any question.
I mean, it's got to be trending top 10 on iTunes right now.
Oh, yeah. We haven't released it on iTunes yet, but when we do...
Should be top 10. Because, I mean, that's catchier in the beginning of Friends.
Big time.
Even more so than the A-Team. Even Knight Rider.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I'm jumping right out the window.
You went there.
What's up, big guy?
Welcome to Talkin Baloney. I am the big guy. He is Jim Deezy.
That's right. Live in studio.
We are back in studio.
We are.
We got a huge show today.
Crazy big show today.
Yeah. I don't know how we're going to be able to contain this episode.
It's gonna be a live one, folks. It's gonna be a live one.
We've got a special guest in studio.
Mr.
Hollywood.
Mr. Hollywood himself.
He'll be joining us in the next segment.
Dennis Money Grant.
Money.
Cash money. Folks, I'm guaranteeing he's probably got at least 10,000 cash on him in his pocket.
How many pockets does he have?
He's got cargo shorts on, so he's got a lot of pockets.
Yeah. So before we get started, you've got a new phone.
I did, folks. I did get the new Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra with this new camera ensemble on the back of it.
How many cameras is that?
There's three cameras, a sensor, something or other, and a whole bunch of crazy stuff on the back of that sucker.
Wow.
And I will say, folks, pretty insane. I've had them all. I've had every Samsung phone out there and some iPhones.
What was the phone you had immediately before this one?
It would have been the Samsung S20 Ultra, which just came out. I got in January or February.
Now, what is different between this and the S20?
It has the S Pen, which is the little stylus. Comes out the bottom of the wham, folks.
So that's a new feature for this phone?
So this has always been on the Note line.
Okay.
But, the S20 Ultra was missing that feature. I will say this phone is faster.
You were telling me before we started, 12 gigs of RAM?
12 gigs. It could be more, folks. I'm not sure. I heard 12.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot in a phone.
It is just a phone.
It is just a phone. Folks, it's not just a phone.
It's more than a phone.
It's a Samsung. Yeah, buddy.
Now, we were thinking, how can we demonstrate? Because this does 8K video.
8K video, folks. 8K photos and video.
Yeah, we want to demonstrate that power.
We are going to, while answering a special challenge.
Special challenge.
Oh, yeah. The Boot Scootin' Boogie.
That's right.
Folks, I had to Google what the Boot Scootin' Boogie was.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm embarrassed to even be doing it.
So we just watched a video because I didn't know what it was either. I think you can do it, though.
Listen, you just got to count it off.
So what we're going to do is we're going to cut away to the video from your phone.
Correct.
And then we're going to come right back.
And then we're going to come back.
All right.
It was painful.
Wow.
Listen, folks, I've never professed that I can dance, sing, or do two tasks at one time.
Now, should this challenge, is this something you should pass on? Should you challenge someone else?
I believe we should.
Who would you like to challenge?
Ooh.
Now, they can submit video to us.
Yep, you can do a video.
You You can tweet us at Baloney Talking. You
Correct.
can call the hotline at 585-484-1770. You can text us a video. You can text us photos.
Ooh.
You could email us at talkinbaloney@gmail.com. Lots of ways to get us the video, but who is it going to be?
Man. You know what? I think at the end of the show, we'll reveal it. We'll reveal the challenge.
All right. That's good. We keep everyone listening.
We're going to keep you in suspense until the end of the show.
So, the first thing I wanted to talk about this week, the sad news rocking the world. Actor Chadwick Boseman passed away.
The Panther Man.
Yeah.
Sad to hear.
So we got this. That's him right there. It's
Yep.
Black Panther. So what do you think of Chadwick Boseman?
The fact that he was going through what he was going through and still filming movies, not just any movies.
Yeah.
These are roles that he took on that define history. So, man, kudos to him for what he went through making these films, because he was doing quite a lot during all this, and he was going through chemotherapy, and the cancer is not an easy thing to go through anyway, period.
He had stage 4 colon cancer.
Yeah.
And for the 4 years he battled it, and he still made these huge blockbuster movies.
The emotional and physical and mental drain
Yeah.
to still be able to do it.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And you see the video where he was still going to hospitals and visiting sick kids and doing all these things.
Yeah. Should be right up there with any other national holiday for what he's done for not just, race issues and things like that, but just in general for what he brought to the forefront for everybody.
Now, we've talked about him before because he played Jackie Robinson.
Yeah. Great movie.
We talked about that movie, and he was fantastic.
Fantastic.
He, of course, is the Black Panther.
Yep.
He was incredible in the role. That's a role that could have easily been like jokey or, it could have gone any direction, but he actually took it to a level of like honesty and just realism. It was like he was really, he became that character. Great
actor, great man.
Do you know what his first movie role was?
I do not.
There's a little connection for us. It was the Express, the Ernie Davis story.
The Ernie Davis story. That's right.
He played Floyd Little in the movie, but there's a movie with an Elmira connection.
The Elmira Express.
Which now your old high school.
See, it's no longer called Elmira Free Academy anymore. No. Now it's
They're the Elmira Express. I know that.
Yeah, it's like Ernie Davis High or Junior, whatever it is now. I don't know.
Yeah, you've moved on.
We've moved on. I mean, it's how do you listen, man? I just don't know how you combine two arch. It's like if you put
baseball. It's like if the Red Sox and Yankees combined
and played in the same darn stadium together.
Yeah.
Who thought that was a great idea? But I understand. I do understand why they had to do it. Funds and things like that. And
it's happening all over. You look
Sad.
at Corning, 20 miles away from Elmira, east and west in Corning, hated rivals. They're now one school.
Yeah, just takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
Can't have a rivalry if you're staying in the same damn building, same teams or whatever. I mean, come on, unbelievable. It's like having your sweet tea and your unsweet tea and just throw it all in one pot.
Is that what you do?
Who does that?
Oh, no, you don't do that.
Nope.
So today's topic, I thought we would hit 3 areas, what I'm calling the best of the 80s.
Okay.
We're going to talk 80s toys.
Okay.
80s video games.
Okay.
And 80s vehicles. Now, where I'm going with this is cars and vehicles you might know from movies, TV shows, cartoons, you name it. The 80s, I think, more than any decade,
absolutely,
you can point to famous vehicles.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it.
So let's start right there.
All right.
What's the first 80s vehicle you think of?
Well, I was going to go jump right out the window and say the wagon from or National Lampoon's Vacation.
Okay.
The AKA the family truckster, the upper elite family station sports wagon.
It's the Wagon Queen family truckster.
Ooh. What a beauty that car was.
Yeah. They took like what was the popular design at the time and took it to the nth degree.
Put the wood grain on it.
Wood paneling, every possible spot you could. Multiple layers of headlights.
Oh, yeah. Because you never could have too much light on the highway or the road. You want to be able to see where you're going, and he could see where he was going.
And the color.
Tilt steering.
Oh.
Ahead of its time, folks. Ahead of its time. Luggage racks. The little special alloy hubcaps. Yeah.
And what they did for families that had station wagons, like mine, it made you feel better about your station wagon.
Yeah. We had a station wagon growing up. We had a blue station wagon of some sorts. I believe it was called a Malibu. And had a reverse seat that used to look out the back window and caught fire. It seems to be a theme.
We had, I think it was called the Country Squire, but it was the classic wood paneled, throw the kids in the back where there's no seat belts or any kind of safety, and every time you make a quick stop, everyone slides forward, slams into the seat. How come cars don't have wood paneling anymore?
Scared. They're scared. Scared of the environmentalists.
Is that what it is? Because it was actual wood?
Real wood. Can't put it on cars. It's not safe.
So what's another vehicle that comes to mind?
Man, probably have to jump out of the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Go. Yes.
you can't.
I think that's the first one I go to.
You can't mention anything without you got to go back there.
This is the DeLorean is an actual car that existed against all probability, and yet Back to the Future has made this car the most famous car.
And you can still find these cars.
Yes.
Collectors do have them.
And there's documentaries about DeLorean. You can watch those and learn about the actual car. And basically, thanks to the movie, people really keep these cars in great condition, so they are still running.
Absolutely. Now, you'd have to go back and say the A-Team Man.
Of course.
You'd have to say that. That's got to be included there.
I believe that was the GMC Vandura.
Yes.
Black with a red stripe.
I pity the fool who messes with my van. Man, that van used to get shot up. They do okay. Next episode, come back on, it's all polished straight up again.
Yeah. I don't think you could have a TV show in the 80s if you didn't have a signature car attached to it.
Oh, yeah. So Dukes of Hazzard.
The General Lee.
The General Lee. Are we allowed to say the General Lee?
We can say General Lee.
Okay.
We probably shouldn't mention the Confederate flags or that it played Dixie when you hit the horn. Yeah. We won't even mention that.
No, we don't do politics and religion on this show.
No. Yeah, so the General Lee, super famous.
Yep.
Every kid wanted that car.
Every kid wanted to jump that car over a dried creek bed like they did on the show.
So that was a 1969 Dodge Charger.
Whew.
Classic car.
But it had nothing on Kit. Night Industry
Rider.
2000.
I was gonna test you what Kit stood for. You nailed it before I even asked you.
That's right. Matter of fact, on my new Samsung Note 20 Ultra, my ringtone is the Knight Rider theme song.
I feel like you've had that ringtone for about 20 years.
I have. Every once in a while, I get a little nostalgic, and I put it back on there just so I can hear the intro to Knight Rider.
Yeah, I understand. And anytime someone calls, you got to let that ring.
Because really, it was either this podcast or working for the Foundation for Law and Government, and I chose the podcast.
Yeah, that's a tough choice.
Neither was paying real well, but...
Here's a car for you. Think ZZ Top.
Ooh. Because every girl is crazy about a sharp-dressed man. Especially if she's got legs.
They had their car, which they called the Eliminator.
Yes.
It's 1933 Ford Coupe, red with a yellow lightning on it.
And If you watch some of their old music videos, it flew in space.
It did. So here was a band that put their vehicle on the cover of their albums and then used it in every music video.
Yep.
You don't see that anymore.
No. Now all you see is, all right, so I'm going to make a music video, and I'm going to go get 15 other people that already made music videos, and we're all going to do a music video together.
Yeah, and it's going to have Bentleys and Rolls Royces.
All cars that none of us can afford.
Yeah.
They can.
But no one has that.
No one has a signature car anymore.
Yeah. What do you think of Mad Max? Remember his car?
Mad Max Beyond Thunder. Yeah. So you talking Mel Gibson's Mad Max?
I am. We're talking the 80s here.
Yeah. So that thing was crazy.
Yeah.
Now I remember he had the cop car in the beginning that was super fast.
So that was a cop car modified.
Yep.
They called it the V8 Interceptor.
Yes.
Originally a 1973 Ford Falcon.
Ooh. You know what? My pops had a Ford Falcon.
Really?
He did.
He was the original Mad Max.
He was the original Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Unbelievable.
Yep. That's right. He had a Ford Falcon. Matter of fact, I think when we were in like 3rd or 4th grade, he still had it for like another year or two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can see Pops driving around Elmira in a Ford Falcon.
He had a Ford Falcon, and he had that. He had a Dodge Coronet. They looked like the MP police car that used to chase the A-Team around.
Not quite as classic a car.
No,
but.
it was right up there, though.
So, a movie we've talked about a bunch of times, Cobra.
Oh, yeah.
You got to mention his car.
Oh. And the sad part was, in the end, all he wanted was his car repaired and rebuilt, and he never did get it.
So that was a 1950 Monterey coupe.
Man.
Souped up, obviously.
Beautiful. It had nitros in it and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Who can forget the chase scene in that?
Yeah.
Man. Especially when he crashed it through the boat. Just wrecked the car all the heck.
Now, this next vehicle I'm thinking of, you kind of took the name from it for your vehicle.
Okay.
It was the Beast. It was Uncle Buck's.
Uncle Buck's the Beast.
1977 Mercury Marquis.
So, funny story. I had what year was that car I had? I had a Mercury or a Ford. It was the sister car, the Marquis. Oh, Crown Victoria. I had that thing as a loaner car from Van Brunt Motors in Elmira, New York, while my car was getting fixed. Had it for like 2 weeks. And I beat the ever-loving snot out of that car. The only car I've ever owned that was rear-wheel drive that I could step on the accelerator and smoke the tires. And it had an Interceptor motor in it.
Wow. Did you get the backfire sound going?
No, never got the backfire. There was a lot of backfiring that happened in that car, usually from, eating budgies or something.
So my first car was a 84 Dodge Caravan. It had the backfire.
Did it?
And let me tell you, when that thing went off, people were ducking and covering.
So I learned how to drive standard or stick shift on Mel's mom's Dodge Caravan.
Yeah?
That was actually had a shifter in the middle.
Wow.
There was no such thing as tinted windows back then either. They were crystal clear.
Yeah.
You could see everybody in the vehicle.
You know the show Hardcastle and McCormick?
Yes.
He was a race car driver, right?
Yes, yep.
Who got into trouble, goes to work for the judge, Hardcastle.
Yes.
He had a famous car, the Coyote X.
The Coyote X.
Kind of a red and yellow race car looking thing.
Yeah, man. We're taking a stroll right now, folks.
Yeah.
What about Starsky and Hutch?
I was just going to say, Starsky and Hutch.
They had the red with the car with the white stripe down.
stripe.
Yes.
Kind of like it was almost like an El Camino looking.
Yeah. But I will say, the remake that they did of that here just back in the...
Yeah, that was not good.
Not good at all, folks. Don't waste your money.
Now, one of my favorite shows from the 80s, Magnum P.I.
Oh, yeah. It's Ferrari.
That Ferrari, what can you say?
We all want one. We all can't afford one.
So he had a Ferrari 308 GTS, 1984. And not surprising because Tom Selleck is tall. They
Yeah.
had to specially move the seats back and take out all the padding so he could fit in it.
You know what's funny? You think Magnum PI,
Yeah.
he had the porn stash,
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt,
Yeah.
tight ass shorts,
Yep.
a Ferrari.
Yeah. And every week he got the prettiest women on
Yeah. Every week he was with a new, let's just say a new,
model.
a new
Yeah.
flavor of ice cream.
He had the life.
And he was in Hawaii.
In Hawaii, basically living rent-free in a mansion, and all he did was...
He just did whatever Higgins told him to do.
yeah.
What was the deal with Higgins anyway? He used to just...
Higgins was like
He was the boss, right?
he was in charge of the grounds at the house, so he was like a butler, essentially.
Okay. Magnum. What a man.
Karate Kid.
Oh.
You remember the car that Mr. Miyagi gave
Son.
Daniel-san?
It was the yellow.
It was yellow. It was a 1948 Ford Super Deluxe.
Ooh. That thing was a thing of beauty, too.
Yeah.
And there's a scene in that show, in the movie, that really ticked me off, and that's where Ralph Macchio goes over the door and puts his sneakers on the door. What? Come on. I do have to plug one thing since we're talking Karate Kid.
Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai.
Did you start watching it?
Oh my God, I can't stop watching it. My brother, Mad Dog, told me, he's like, dude, you got to watch it. I'm like, all right, when I get time, I'll watch. He's like, no.
It was just added to Netflix.
Yeah, he's like, it's going to suck you in. I'm like, nah, whatever. I started watching the first one. I can't put it down now. Dude, that is awesome.
I was up to 2:30 in the morning last night. I watched the first 5 episodes.
I watched 2 this morning.
It is an incredible show.
Awesome. Dude, I love where they went back to the end of the movie and they
Yep.
picked up where it left off. And
I love that they flash back to the movie.
yes.
And they really show like the emotional impact. What happened in that movie has lived with them the rest of their lives and affects them every day. It's awesome.
Loved it. Loved it. Anyway, my plug for Cobra Kai.
I was going to
Watch
mention
it, folks.
because
Yes.
it just came on Netflix. You have to watch it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you liked anything about Karate Kid,
Oh, yeah.
you got to watch this. Even if you didn't like Karate Kid, you got to watch it. This is great.
It's a great show.
And you don't even have to watch any of the Karate Kid movies. You can just go watch the flashbacks and you'll know what's going on anyway.
Yeah. They give you everything you need to know to watch it.
Great show.
And the best part is you don't have to watch all the Karate Kid sequels.
No.
You can watch the first one, which is a great movie.
Yep.
Skip the sequels.
Yeah.
Watch
Go right
Cobra
to the
Kai.
show. Right to the Netflix show.
How about the Fall Guy? You ever watch the Fall Guy?
Ooh, yes. He had the brown pickup truck.
Yes. It was a GMC Sierra pickup with the fog lights on top. and
Yes, he had the roll bar with the lights on
Yes.
it. Yeah. Well, you
That was
just
a classic car.
just screams hillbilly.
Streams
By the way, I mean, I'm okay with the hillbilly stuff. I mean, if it's you're watching our podcast and show, rock on with your lights.
Now, we can't talk famous movies, the vehicles, without mentioning Ghostbusters.
Oh, it was an old hearse, right?
An old ambulance,
Oh, ambulance.
Ecto 1.
Ecto 1. Let's just say the Ghostbusters, the last one that came out, the one where we won't even talk about it because it gets too political, but it was a hearse.
In that one, it was a hearse?
It was a hearse.
Okay. In the movie, Dan Aykroyd's character buys it for like $4,600. In 1984 terms, that's a lot
expensive.
of money for a beat up vehicle they had to do so much work on.
That's like paying $10,000 for a Ford Pinto. And one of them too. He got taken. I would have put ghosts in his house after charging me that kind of money.
Another famous movie vehicle. You gotta go with the Batmobile.
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Keaton.
So, I'll go with famous. What kind of car was it?
So I don't think that came from any kind of car. It was like an original.
Okay, it was like a kit car or something like that.
Basically.
Okay.
And obviously not a real car. I don't think that thing could actually
Listen,
drive.
tell me if you didn't have a Batmobile or a Ghost Ecto 1, you wouldn't be rocking that all over town right now.
Oh, heck yeah.
Heck yeah. I'd be shooting plasma out the back of the Ecto 1.
If I had a Hot Wheels of it, I'd be carrying it around with me everywhere I went.
Dude, it'd be awesome to roll down I-86 in Batman's car.
Wow, my list. I've only got one left on it.
Uh-oh.
Bueller.
Oh,
Bueller.
Ferris Bueller it was his dad's.
It was his buddy Cameron.
Cameron's dad's car.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a 1961 Ferrari 250 GT.
Yeah. The funniest scene in that movie is when he's trying to make the odometer go backwards.
I love it when they give it to the valets.
Yes.
And they're like, can we trust these guys? Of course.
Of course.
And then the next scene is them just
Airborne.
airborne on the road.
And folks, that's what those valets do with your car. When you pull up, listen, you go down to the Racino or the casinos and the valet parks your car, that's what they're doing with it. That sucker's going off-road, jumping ramps and curbs. And
Gotta love it.
yeah. Because that's what I would do if I was a valet.
Oh, we just heard what you do with rental cars when you get them.
Beat the snot out of them.
So we are going to take a break. We're going to come back.
All right.
We're going to welcome in our special guest, Dennis
Ooh,
Grant.
special guest.
And we're going to continue to talk about the best of the 80s.
Love it. Love it.
I'm talking baloney.
Up next. Folks, we're back here on Talkin Baloney with a special guest live in studio.
He's actually here with us.
The
right
man,
now.
the myth, the legend, Mr. Hollywood himself.
Hi.
There he is.
Folks, that is the man right there. The creator.
Of Ty Bowie.
Ty Bowie and the Tough Guys.
Well, thank you.
And he's happy to be here, too.
Yes. And how many energy drinks have you had today now?
2, but they were both triple shots. So-
Folks, you see the effects it's having on them, right? Can't control them.
So, as anyone knows, if you call the hotline, 585-484-1770, you receive a Jimbo Joe's coupon. And Dennis Grant happens to be here, so we can present to him the coupon.
Now you got me jazzed.
This is the coupon that you earned by calling in with the stand-up, the sit-down stand-up challenge, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are now autographing
Oh, man.
this coupon.
So right there, that
For
makes
Dennis.
it official.
And we just need the big guy. He has to sign it too as well.
Right there, you can see
Oh,
Jim
man.
Keezy. We call him Jim Deezy, but he signs it Jim Keezy.
Oh, man, do I...
We know we're going to give him 2. He gets 2.
Can I get that now?
There it is, folks.
So here's one that Jim has signed, Jim Deezy. This is now official.
Bam.
One free drink. It's a coffee, I believe.
It is a coffee.
Oh, man, I could use more coffee.
Or it could be a coffee smoothie.
Whoa.
Because apparently there's quite an interest in this product right now. And I smell money.
That's true.
It's because I'm here.
Because Hollywood is in the building. And he said it's going to work. So we are presenting this. Bam.
Thank you. I'll add this, too. I'm very excited to get this. Thank you very
Money
much.
in his pockets.
I told you he had tons of money in his pockets, folks. I said it.
Did you get that on camera with all them?
Yeah, we saw him.
And that was only one pocket he had his hand in. There's 4 or 5 more there.
He's from Hollywood, so his hand's always in his pocket.
I got 18 pockets. That's how I got my nickname. 3 pockets.
Now, if he had his only one hand in his pocket, he'd be in a Alanis Morissette song.
So we are talking the best of the 80s. We just did famous vehicles, cars, trucks, you name it, from the 80s. Dennis, what do you think of when you think of famous vehicles?
I think of, you said vehicles.
Yeah.
So that could be Doesn't have to be a car,
That's
right?
true.
Even though there was a car in Knight Rider named Car, who was the evil Knight Rider.
Oh, that's
He was
true.
the evil kid.
Wow.
Yes.
And I think I don't know what it stood for. Knight Automotive Ridiculous Rascal or whatever. I don't know. I forget what it is.
I don't know.
No. But there was also a semi that was driven by the evil Michael Knight.
Goliath.
Goliath was the semi.
Yes.
And Garth was the evil David Hasselhoff. He had the goatee.
That's right.
Remember that?
No.
Think Baywatch, David Hasselhoff with a goatee.
Okay.
And then, of course,
Yeah.
do you guys remember the show Street Hawk?
Of course.
With Rex Smith,
Yeah. The motorcycle.
motorcycle.
It was a Yamaha. I don't know.
And that was everybody, when Knight Rider was a big hit, that everybody was trying to do their Knight Rider stuff. And that was...
Kind of like the TV show Riptide, where they had the boat.
The boat was the vehicle.
And then they went to Airwolf and Blue Thunder.
Airwolf.
Yeah.
You said Blue Thunder. That was one I had in mind.
Yeah.
And Airwolf was kind of a knockoff of Blue Thunder.
Yep.
Yeah.
And another great show, which was a knockoff of Tron, but also had a lot of vehicles, Automan.
Automan. Don't know that one.
Automan.
Is that from the 80s?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
1980s?
Yeah. Automan.
So Airwolf was the only helicopter that actually growled. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. He would turn and it would growl.
The helicopter?
The helicopter.
Wow. I got to watch more Airwolf.
Great show.
Great theme, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So now we're going to move on to toys. So the best toys of the 80s. What's the first thing, Jim Deezy, that comes to mind?
Transformers.
Transformers. As I understand it, they are robots in disguise.
There's good ones, Autobots, and there's bad ones, Decepticons.
So
Decepticon ones were always cooler than the good ones, though. They had better toys.
And you may have crossed over into vehicles/toys, too. See?
Yeah.
You got a great toy, and you got a great vehicle like Optimus Prime.
Yep.
True. What was the one that he turned into a giant gun? Who was that?
That was
Megatron.
Megatron. Yes.
Yeah.
So the main villain turned into a giant gun.
Yeah.
It was weird, though, because didn't he kind of shrink?
They had to do that for the cartoon.
Yeah, for the cartoon, he shrunk into a little handheld gun.
So it was an actual life-size to scale gun that a kid could buy and hold in his hand versus a Matchbox size semi. It's like,
You don't want to play with that toy today.
No.
no.
So we're yeah.
Automan.
What other toys do you think of?
G.I. Joe.
Got to,
Yeah.
right?
G.I. Joe.
A brand that was effectively was from the 60s. Like they were large size.
tall.
Yeah. That's where the term action figure comes from.
The original G.I. Joe.
Yeah, they coined that with that. And then the brand was pretty much dead, I think. Came up with a way to bring the brand back.
See?
And they
History.
were huge.
History.
Yeah. How many G.I. Joes did you think you had?
I had a ton.
Yeah.
And if I would have known what they were worth nowadays, I would have kept every one of them.
Yeah, but if you did, then the value would have been down for everybody else. So
I would have never broke them apart, blew them up, drove over them.
That was probably the best part. I don't remember kids destroying Star Wars action figures. But for some reason, G.I. Joe figures just lent themselves to being exploded with fireworks.
They just had that little stretchy rubber band.
the rubber
in the
band
middle.
that deteriorated and broke, and
Yeah. It didn't take much to break them.
Nope.
Dennis, what do you think of toys? First one.
Oh man, a Rubik's cube,
Okay.
right?
I like it.
Yeah, and I was one of the kids that I actually collected. I used to collect all the different kinds of Rubik's cubes and all the knockoffs. They ended up having the orb, then the missing link. They had a pyramid. They had a snake. I got the keychains. And it's
I remember the keychain.
Yeah. And I had the snake.
yeah, I couldn't solve a single one of them. But man, it was fun taking them apart and putting them back together.
Just peel the stickers off.
Yeah.
They even, it
That's
was
the
so,
easiest way to do it.
and it was so popular that they even had like a cartoon about it, about when you solve the cube, then an alien pops out of it, and oh man.
So I know I'm not Fontaine, but I do have a fun fact right here. The Rubik's Cube, #1 selling toy in the world. 350 million Rubik's Cubes have been sold.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. What do we know about him?
Fontaine?
No, about Professor Rubik. I don't.
Oh, I only read
Zephyrin
this
Rubik?
much
I don't know
as
his
that.
Was he a real was he a real person?
I think he was a real person who, like a scientist of some kind, that invented that puzzle.
Well, I think on the packaging it actually said Professor Rubik's Cube,
Yeah.
but I always assumed that was made up. But
And does that count as like a game too? Is it a game? We know it's a toy, but is it considered a game?
I don't know.
And if you sit on it, is it a vehicle?
Hey, if it moves.
Kids, don't sit on your Rubik's Cubes.
No. Service announcement.
Wow.
Don't do it.
How about He-Man?
He-Man and the
Oh.
Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, that was I think that was a toy that came along and just blew all the other toys out of the water in terms of sales, and just it was everywhere. And then almost as quickly it disappeared.
Yeah. There's only one toy that I can remember back in the day that I had a lot of, and again, I wish I had them again.
Yeah.
WWF, the rubber figures.
The dog toys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they call them. Yeah.
Big LJN,
Yeah.
I believe, over. Oh, Macho Man.
Yeah, right over your shoulder.
So I had Macho Man and I had Jesse the Body, but those are the only big ones I had.
So I had Big John Studd, and we had a Hulk Hogan one
Of course.
that we never knew was worth anything.
Is it worth something, though?
Not really. Yeah.
What I had a lot of was the miniature ones, the bendies. I had a bunch of those because they were cheaper.
Oh, what was the stretch doll?
Stretch Armstrong?
Stretch Armstrong.
Was he 80s or was...
I think he was probably 70
Was he?
or 60s. You remember those big Tonka trucks that were just like steel?
Yes. Fall on one of them, folks.
They slice your knee right open.
Cut your back open, stab you,
Toss me that Tonka truck.
puncture a lung.
Speaking of awesome toys, my buddy.
My buddy. My
Remember
buddy
the
and me.
My
My buddy.
Can you sing it
My
on YouTube?
Buddy.
I don't know if
My
you can.
buddy and me.
Wherever he goes, wherever I go, he goes. My buddy, my buddy. Look at him. What's he doing with that in my mom's drawer? I don't know. I don't know the song.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
Who did this? My buddy did. I didn't do it. Mom.
Do you remember the spin-off for girls? It was
Teddy Ruxpin.
A kid sister.
Kid Sister.
Kid sister. Wherever I go, she goes. Kid sister. What you doing in my mom's drawer?
Wow.
And then I think they ran off together or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there was something amiss there.
Yeah. Shady.
And then, of course, who got involved in the middle was Teddy Ruxpin.
Yes.
Oh.
Teddy Ruxpin. You had to put the cassette in there, didn't you?
Yes.
Ask him a question, didn't give you the answer.
So
Yeah.
Teddy would tell you stories because you would put a cassette in the back and hit play, and his mouth would move as though he was reading you the story.
Yeah. The real Surrey doll.
Yeah, kind of.
And that makes me think of the Knight Rider toy, where you got to hear Kit talk, but it was an actual like little record inside the car that when you pulled the string, the record moved, and an actual you gotta believe me, a needle actually played on the record and it played the recording.
So they put a record player inside the car?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
We bought a Knight Rider car from a Hills department store, and it was one of the first ones that came out where you had the you pushed a button or something on it, and it did something, and the little red light would move back and forth, and it would had a little speaker on it and it would say something. Can't find that technology nowadays.
And you, the Teddy Ruxpin stuff, those characters they had a bunch of characters and they all kind of talk to each other and everything. So you could have like a mini Chuck E. Cheese in your bedroom.
That's a little freaky. Well, if there was pizza,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
then it'd be okay.
Oh, and
Yes, your hand is raised.
I'm not saying I had any of these, but I remember them. The Cabbage Patch Kids,
Oh yeah.
where everybody that was a huge thing. Everybody was fighting over
Yeah, that's on my list because it was the hottest toy for at least one Christmas, where parents would kill each other to get their hands on it.
And we know why they were called Cabbage Patch.
Yeah, they were spending some. Didn't they turn into like the Garbage Pail Kids?
Yes,
That was the parody,
Yeah. And that was a Topps product, right?
Correct. There was trading cards and everything for that.
Yeah, stickers. Mm-hmm. They're making a comeback too, despite the fact they made one of the worst movies ever, the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
I do have one pack of Garbage Pail Kids trading cards still in the wrapper.
Wow, there you go.
True story. Top drawer of my nightstand.
You called him Mr. Money.
They're probably worth like $6.
How long have you been sitting on that? It's like, that's it.
I'm pretty sure they're a remake though. You cannot forget toys without mentioning the Hess Truck.
Yeah.
I did forget.
Another great vehicle.
The Hess Truck. Oh my God! Every Christmas they came out with a new one.
That's true.
I'm surprised they didn't have their own cartoon show.
They had a pretty catchy jingle though every Christmas
The
time.
Hess Truck's here and it's better than ever.
Hey now.
Hess Truck this
Hey,
year.
now.
The Hess Truck's here.
Going through your mom's drawer.
Open the back up. There's a surprise in there.
Hey now. Speaking of video games and the best of the 80s.
Okay.
What's the video game top first thing that you're in mind?
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong. Classic.
Yeah. Of course, Pac-Man.
Yeah.
That's my list right there.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. Pac-Man.
I actually liked.
Space Invaders?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it was the Atari version.
I actually liked Miss Pac-Man better than the original Pac-Man.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So when they did Miss Pac-Man, it was like a super version of Pac-Man. It had more levels, better gameplay. So it wasn't actually. It was a better game.
And she was prettier.
Well, she
She
had
had-
that.
she had a
hot
bow.
ribbon.
She had a bow in her.
She had a bow in her hair.
I don't know.
She had a bow on her round head.
But it's interesting for Donkey Kong
Yeah.
that who was introduced in Donkey Kong?
Mario.
There you go. And what bigger game was there than Super Mario Brothers?
It's true. People it's still fun to play today.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to throw a flaming barrel at somebody? No? Just me? Darn it.
I think that'd be fun. I had to think about it. It's like, would the fire go out if you rolled it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
It'd be soaked in oil, though.
So,
That's a lot of work for Donkey Kong. He didn't seem to put that much effort into it. It was just kind of like grab and throw.
There wasn't many levels on that game either.
No.
so in the original Donkey Kong was like the bad guy, right? And Mario was the big hero.
Yeah.
And then Donkey Kong Jr. Turned that whole concept all on its head.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, Donkey Kong's in a cage, Mario won, but wait a minute, there's more to the story. It's like you've got to rescue Papa from the. Oh man.
Yeah.
How many times did we all cry trying to rescue?
Yeah. So I also liked Frogger. Remember Frogger?
Yep.
You'd cross the traffic, right?
Oh yeah. I remember when that game came out on Atari. That was like the game we had to get. And
Yeah.
then the Atari version, of course, was just pathetic and awful.
Yeah.
What was that game for Atari that was two tanks? You used to sit there.
That was probably the name of it.
Combat.
Two tanks.
2 tanks. That's how I got my nickname. 3 tanks.
Combat, right?
Yeah. Probably. And they had one of my favorites was Burger Time.
Ooh.
Yes.
That because I could play that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't play these games nowadays.
Joust.
Joust was good.
Oh, yeah.
And of course Galaga,
Of course.
Galaga.
Galaga.
That one.
referenced in the Avengers.
Oh, not a big Avengers guy here.
Oh, you got to play Galaga.
Well, I was gonna
I
say,
think I have.
How about q-bert?
q-bert, where you jump down the little...
Yeah.
I was not good at that.
Yeah, that was a tough game.
It's deceptively difficult.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's easy. Just ah!
Yeah, you like jump right off the side, like way too easy.
There was just one with like paddles. You used to just pink.
So like Pong.
Yeah, Pong.
Or I think they might have called it tennis on ColecoVision.
Man, what graphics.
How about Pitfall?
Pitfall. Jumping ropes over the alligator's mouth. Crocodile mouth or whatever it was.
Games have come a long way. But back in the day, the simplest games were sometimes the most fun.
I think they should go back to those games.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You could play Pac-Man for hours.
Oh, yeah.
You could play Space Invaders. You could play Donkey Kong for hours. You didn't need like a real complex story.
We didn't need a master's degree to play the game.
That's true.
But I think most of those games that we remember, we were talking about Pac-Man, Donkey Kong Jr. I think Kangaroo was in there, Frogger.
Yes.
Those all had cartoon shows, and most of them had serials too.
Yes. You had to have a cereal.
Yeah. You can do it. You can do the Pac-Man.
Yeah.
So
Pac-Man had multiple songs.
Yeah.
Pac-Man Fever.
Pac-Man Fever.
Oh, yeah.
An actual hit song.
The toy I had in the 80s was also an E.T. doll, and you would push his neck up
Oh, yeah.
like that. And I also had a squeezy Pac-Man toy. So I always had adventures with Pac-Man and E.T. off doing stuff, and I thought...
Did his finger glow?
No, but he had like heartburn all the time. No, his finger might have...
Oh, I didn't have the ET toy.
No.
We had the Alf doll.
Yeah, the Elf doll was huge in the late 80s.
Yep.
That was big. We were actually talking video games.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
The game I like to play at the arcade, I don't think it was ever that good on home systems, but the game Outrun, where you drove the red convertible. And, you would always spin out and flip over at the end. But one of the cool things is you could pick the radio station. So when you go to the timeout and play, you get to like pick the kind of music you want to listen to.
You would have to go with pole position.
Now that's like an actual good game, yeah.
Spy Hunter. Remember when Spy Hunter came out?
Oh.
Pole Position also had a cartoon.
They did have a cartoon.
They did. By Geek.
Well, we're going to wrap up video games with the game near and dear to Jim's heart, Tecmo Football.
Tecmo Football. Man, so many years.
How many hours and hours and hours did you play?
Probably a lot of my life. We played that. And it just sucked it. That was one of the very few football games I could actually win at.
Yeah. You used to win a lot in that.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to throw in a toy and, quote, video game from the 80s. The old Tiger games. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
The red dots just moving around, and you got your football and your baseball and your basketball. Oh, man. Those are back, too. Those are back in...
Yeah.
Such a simpler time. Man. They need to bring more of the stuff back. Bring the people back from the 80s, too.
No one should ever... So, we had a great discussion.
We did.
It's great to have Dennis Grant with us in
The
studio.
man, the myth, the legend, folks.
Yeah.
Hollywood himself will get an honorary spot right here on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah, are you guys going to start your Hall of Fame? There was something you were going to put in before in the Hall of Fame. I forget you were talking about starting one, were you?
We talked about it. We have to go to committee, of course, and figure out. And there's going to be a 5-year waiting period before we elect anyone. But
We have a lot of board of directors, people we got to appeal to, and
well, you got to think of the kids.
Yeah, sponsorship monies we got to get.
But you're not going away empty-handed because you got that coupon.
That's right.
Not just any coupon. A free cup of Jimbo Joe's coffee coming in 2029, folks.
There it is.
There it is.
They're real. I just want to say they are real. You do get them when you participate.
Yep.
585-484-1770, and you can go home with an autographed Jim Kesey.
multiple aliases.
I just have to say, it says it expires 2027 through 2029. And I just have to wonder what those years are going to look like.
Let's be honest. Can it really get any? No, let's not even say that, because we already know it's only gotten worse.
If there's Jimbo Joes in the future, then I think things are going to end up just fine.
Yeah.
Unless there are giant human-sized rat people running around.
As long as they like coffee.
And don't forget, in 2029, don't wear your mask. Wear your oxygen respirator hat.
All right. We'll be back with more Talkin Baloney.
Welcome back, folks.
Jim Deezy.
And the big guy.
Man, what a segment we just had.
It was awesome having Dennis in the studio again.
Yeah.
Actually, for the first time.
That's right.
Live.
We had him via Skype previously.
Yeah.
So obviously, we had so much to talk about. Mm-hmm. We're really way behind schedule.
Yes.
So we're going to go right to Baloney Nation.
Right to the questions, the Q&A.
Of course, if you have a question, you can call us at 585-484-1770. Our first question, what would your ultimate Wrestlemania card be?
Ooh.
Now, I think for this, it's not just who would you like to see on it, but pick people in their prime. So, like, the guy at his peak, like, peak Ric Flair, who would he face? That kind of thing.
Ric Flair versus Austin.
Wow. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Ric Flair, Austin. Hands down.
Yeah.
I'd probably even go Undertaker versus The Rock. Peak time.
Yeah.
Heck, I'd even throw in a Dusty Rhodes Undertaker.
That would be interesting.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
The American Dream. Dusty Rhodes.
I'm thinking Macho Man, and I'm thinking Macho Man versus, like, either peak Shawn Michaels or peak AJ Styles.
Ooh. Well, I'd like to see him AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'd like to see? Hercules versus, hang on. I'm just dumbed out, forgot his name. Sheamus.
Wow. Because they both wear, like, chains.
And they're both, like, powder white.
Yeah. And strong.
Yeah. Crazy strong. Think about that, though.
Yeah.
Almost alike.
Who, like, Hulk Hogan, you have to have him on the card. Mm-hmm. Peak Hulk Hogan, who would he go against?
I'd like to see him actually. I'd put him up. You know what? It's Hogan. So all the stuff is so much. It was so scripted with him anyway.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Hogan actually get his ass kicked by somebody for real. So I'm gonna go Hogan versus Brock Lesnar.
Wow. I'd pay money to see that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Hogan versus Cena, like peak performance.
Okay.
Because they're
yeah,
two sides of the same coin, if you will.
I'd go that route. I'd do that too. But I would love to see Hogan versus Brock Lesnar at some point.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Brock Lesnar would destroy him.
Yeah, hands down. Or see like Kevin Nash versus, Brock or something.
Yeah. Trying to think Kurt Angle. Peak Kurt Angle.
AJ Styles.
Yeah. That would be phenomenal.
And he'd do it with a broken freaking neck.
So that question came from the text line, and now we've got a voicemail that we need to listen to.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. This is the Macho King of Baloney Nation. Oh, yeah. Calling in to talk with Jim Deezy. Oh, it's tough to say that name with his voice, man. And the big guy. Where are you, big guy? Oh, there you are up there. Yeah. You're taller than Hogan. Oh, yeah. I gotta go, but best of luck with the show. Elizabeth, follow me. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
What was the question?
Oh, there was no question.
That was awesome.
So obviously, fans, they know we like wrestling. Mm-hmm.
Call
in with Macho Man impressions.
I'm sad to say that Elizabeth is dead, but
True. So is Macho.
yeah.
So I think
That was great.
This should be a new thing. We should encourage people to call in with your impression.
Give us your best impression of your favorite wrestler or wrestling scenario.
Or call us with your favorite impression. If you can do an Arnold, a
Yep.
Sly.
Oh, a Queen Elizabeth?
Oh, bring it. So call the hotline, 585-484-1770.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget this week, there's still one more week to get merchandise.
Code Butchman.
Butchman code, 20% off.
Yep.
We've just added new items.
Ooh.
And the reason we added new items is this text message from Aunt Paula.
Oh.
So here's a question for you, Joe. How can you order stuff from the website when it's not on there? There's only t-shirts, nothing else. Where's the other? Is the other stuff made up? Like Jimbo Joe's coffee?
How dare you?
Can you believe this?
What? No gratitude. What nonsense. Who is this Aunt Paula?
Look at this.
Real
This is
coupon
real.
signed by real people. You know what? I hope you get infested with cockroaches.
And by the way, you'll be receiving a free coupon.
That's
from
right. Jimbo Joe's Coffee for that make-believe cup of coffee you don't think is out there.
I do admit we were a little slow with the website. We've got new merch, and we didn't have it up there, but it is up there now.
Yep.
You can buy a mask. You can get the window decals.
That's right.
You can get the Butchman hat.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all available.
It's all available. If you want a straw with a logo on it, we'll make it. We don't care.
And one last comment before we go. We're
Okay.
running long. We had a comment on the YouTube page.
Oh.
ND Knight, who has been on the show as a guest,
Yep.
he commented on our Scranton episode and said, "You and your Pudgy's Pizza.
Oh, he's so anti-Pudgies.
What is going on with
He
that?
is not a Pudgy's Pizza fan, and
Where's he from originally?
he's from like down that way too.
Like Elmira?
He's from a little bit below the border,
Well, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Okay. Okay.
Now we understand why he doesn't like Pudgies.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we get it. Okay, ND Knight.
Well, we will send you your coupon though for your free cup of Jimbo Joe's coffee.
Yeah, thanks for the comment.
Yeah.
Personally signed, coming your way.
Yep. And guess what? Pudgy's rules.
Yeah, Pudgy's is awesome. Get with the program. Can't believe we had this guy on the show.
Come on.
What is going on? All right, let's do a quick wrap up.
Oh, we've had a lot going on today.
Yeah, this is a blockbuster show.
We've had guests. We had a dumb skit dance. Oh, and I have to challenge somebody.
That's right. Before we go, who are you going to challenge to do the boot scoot?
You know
boogie?
what? I'm going to challenge Mr. Dennis Grant himself. He was a
Oh.
guest on the show today.
I did
I'm
not see that coming.
I'm going to let him do it.
This
I
is
wanted
like
to see it.
SummerSlam. You never see it coming.
No. We're challenging Mr. Grant.
I
He
love
gets
it.
the boot scoot and boogie challenge.
So we got that to look forward to.
He doesn't
next
have
week.
much to beat.
And with that, don't forget to keep rocking, Rochester.
Stay classy, Rochester.